Welcome to another episode of Entrepreneurs in Fuego. We're documenting the journey of incredible entrepreneurs such as Berk, Service Guru.
Yep.
Customer service review platform for employees.
Correct.
Tell us about that.
It's time to hold people accountable for the customer service that they provide. And we strongly believe that 95 to 98% of the experience is service related.
It is.
So it's time to get these people to be accountable and recognize them for the great service they're providing.
These people meaning my employees.
Everyone.
Or everyone.
Who isn't in the service business? Doctors, nurses, flight attendants, pilots, real estate agents, people obviously in the hospitality industry. We're all in the service business one way or the other.
Yet we do not focus a lot of our resources into service. I mean, we preach it, we say it perfunctorily, but we don't really execute it. We don't act it. And there are a few companies that actually listen to you or empower their employees to take care of the customer right away.
Yeah, so you bring up a great point. So Forrester did a great study. They surveyed companies. 80% of businesses believe they're delivering superior customer service, but only 8% of our customers believe that. So basically, all of our customer service suck, right? And that's on the back end. We can do a lot of training, but what do we do to track and measure this? Service Guru allows that to happen and allows that service professional to take control of their service career. They can aggregate their reviews into what we trademarked as their service resume. So think about your next job. It's not just about, hey, I worked at Pita Jungle for 2 years. I worked at Pita Jungle for 2 years and I have 300 reviews with a 4.8 average star rating showing how good I am. Now I have insight into actually what kind of employee you are, not that you just work there.
So let me understand this. So each employee or each member of whatever team that they're working at a company gets his own personalized reviews.
Correct.
Based on their performance and their interaction with the client.
Correct.
That would require the client to actually log into whatever platform it is and to leave a review for this particular individual.
Yes, the Service Guru platform. Exactly right. And people do have to create an account, a verified account, so we're not going to get, obviously reduces in the incident of fake reviews.
Which was going to be my next question.
Yes.
You know, what prevents my grandmother and my uncle and everybody else in my family to log in and just leave me all these glorious reviews? Or maybe they can.
They can, as long as they create an account, but we'll be able to see.
But not duplicate accounts.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody wants to go through the trouble of setting up new email addresses and fake names to go through the trouble, then, you know,
whatever.
You win. Well, we do have some software on the back end to track, you know, social connections and things like that. So if it turns out to be a bunch of friends and family that are trying just to build up your service resume and they've not visited you or had service from you, then we will delete that account.
So this takes essentially word of mouth to just a incredibly different level. Because if you provided an immense service for me, and then I tell my friends, you got to go to this person. You got to go to this person. In fact, what you have is a documentation, a validation of that word of mouth, essentially.
That's exactly right. And I think that service is going to go this way. It used to be the old days when you go to a restaurant, you'd ask for somebody's section. Correct. Hey, is Dave working today? That's kind of gone. People just go to restaurants and
unless it's an old school restaurant that has been around for 50 years.
Yeah, these millennials don't even know what I'm talking about when I'm trying to explain this to them. They're like, I just go there, I want my food, call it a day. But I want to get back to that where let's say you're searching for a Mediterranean restaurant and you find, hey, I want to go to Pita Jungle. And I use Pita Jungle as a reference. I manage all the social media and guest relations for Pita Jungle.
Nice.
They also use Service Guru because their commitment to service is unparalleled. I mean, we're all about customer service. But the point is, you can do so much with the platform, and you'll be able to say at Pita Jungle, who's the Service Guru? And in the future, you'll be able to say, who's working right now? And you can say, oh, look, here's Kevin. He's got a 5-star rating with 300 reviews. Is Kevin's section available? Because I want to sit with that guy.
It customizes the consumer experience to a level where the customer will choose the best, in this case in Pita Jungle, the best waiter at that particular location. And and then it's up to the company to remunerate that particular employee accordingly.
They can, of course, and that's a great point, right? So they do use this tool to see who's doing great because, you know, managers can only do what managers can do. They'll walk around and they'll touch a table and they'll say, how was lunch or dinner? And we get the real 4-letter word, which is fine, because we all know, ask anybody, and they say fine, particularly your ex-wife, right? Or my ex-wife. I'm a card-carrying member as well, however, I'm happily married. fine is the kiss of death. You're screwed if you hear fine, right? So fine doesn't tell the manager at all how that experience was. But the customer, when they get behind their phone or their computer later, they're happy to tell you exactly how that service was or how that experience was. And that's what we want, and that's what we're leveraging, is that they can now do that in a way that is comfortable for them, and the employees get significant feedback. And we got one employee at Pita Jungle who has 60 reviews in a matter of a couple months. She's a phenomenal employee. The managers and owners didn't have that depth of insight as to how she's doing. And from the only people that matter, the customers. So those are the people that are paying the bills.
You've turned this whole review system upside down, because prior to you coming on board, say, the only time a manager would have heard about that particular employee, that waiter or waitress, would have been when he or she did not do their job. And that's when they called the manager and says, you know what, give me somebody else, because she's too slow, or brought me the wrong food, whatever it was. Seldom do we stop and say, let me talk to your manager because I want to give you a great review right now.
Right.
And so that's what you've done.
And not only that, even if they do, and you're right, reviews are very polarized. It's usually really bad or really good. And we remember, because we're just wired this way, the negative things. If I asked everybody, have you ever had a negative service experience? Most people go, oh my God,
right.
Yesterday, this happened. This and we remember them much easier than we do the positive ones. But this now, even if somebody were to talk to the manager and say, hey, just want to let you know that Kevin was doing a really good job. I mean, how many times does he need to hear that? And then it's all, hearsay. I have no proof of it. I can't show it to anybody. I might get a letter, of reference or something like that from the manager that he's a really good employee. There's just not much power in that anymore, versus saying, hey, just look at my service resume. Do you need to see anything else? I mean, literally.
That's powerful, because now you have the third party that is actually saying exactly how I performed.
Exactly.
Do employees have access to this?
Of course. Okay. They can manage their account, right? So we kind of serve three different people: with the business, the employee, and the customer. Employees and customers can sign up for a free account. The business model is the business signs up for a business account, and the employees go underneath it, and they can manage the employees. So they get daily and weekly recaps. They have a dashboard. They have a leaderboard. They can moderate. This is an interesting piece of the tool. They can moderate when an employee responds to a customer. It goes into a waiting queue, and the manager has to approve that response. For example, if somebody gave me a 1-star rating saying, Kevin really sucked, he was really slow, didn't know anything about the menu, and I decided to respond, or the customer decided to respond, he's an idiot, he's yelling at him kind of thing. Right. Online. You
become concessions.
We don't want that to be posted, right? So the manager go, okay, you need to calm down a little bit. Let's talk about the proper way. Maybe you weren't being responsive. Maybe we need to do some more training on the menu, and you craft a better response. You train them in that method, and then once they approve the response, it goes live on the site.
It's just an entirely not only customer experience, but also a way to train and teach your employees how to handle a public relations situation, which could be disastrous if not taught well.
And to take constructive feedback, right?
Yeah,
there'll be times where you're not going to give great service. That's okay. You learn from it and you move on.
I can see this working with an organization that has employees naturally. Now, is Service Guru geared toward the solopreneur? I have my own business right here, and I want my customers to say something about the service that they experience. Is that possible through you?
Absolutely. Go to serviceguru.com and sign up for an account.
Love it. Love it. Now, you must have had some horrible experience or some phenomenal experience, or maybe both, that you sat down and you go, there's got to be a better way to kind of document these experiences.
So, from a very early childhood, we're going to go through some regression analysis here. My father is extremely OCD when it comes to service, and pointed things out as a child. Look at how they're carrying that glass if they put their finger in, or a straw, or those kind of things. Just complete turnoff. Sure. But then as I grew, I became ruined. I have 7 kids, 4 organically and 3 by acquisition. But my kids now are ruined because they're identifying, are they responsive? All these unique things. So it's really that experience, and then my business partner at the time, Anil Jain, and I were both of us deeply passionate about customer. We've got to do something to change customer service. We've got to improve customer service because it's so bad. So we crafted this idea, and then my co-founder Mike Vanderslice joined me, and he's been an integral part of the team. And we're passionate. We figured that this is one of the tools, maybe not the tool, but one that has been very valuable so far since we've launched, to be able to track and hold these people accountable and give them the recognition they deserve.
And the feedback's got to be just phenomenal.
Oh yeah, the stories are ridiculous. The stuff we can't share with you guys.
You're my new best friend.
Thank you.
Service Guru. Number one. We're out.